1. To meet regulatory requirements, a medical records company is required to store customer transaction records for 7 years. The records will most likely never be accessed after the second year and can be stored offline to reduce expenses. What type of storage should they implement to achieve this goal? A. File transfer. B. Archive. C. Replication. D. Data store. Answers. B. Moving inactive data to a separate storage facility for long-term storage is called archiving. 2. Mark is creating a disaster recovery plan based on directives from his company's executive management team. His company's business is an e-commerce website that sells children's apparel, with 85% of its revenue received during the holiday season. If there was a severe disruption in operations, the loss of business could put the company's ongoing financial viability in peril. Mark is creating a plan that will restore operations in the shortest amount of time possible if there is an outage. What DR model is he implementing? A. Hot site. B. Active active. C. Warm site. D. Active passive. E. Cold site. F. Rollover. Answers. A. The hot site model is the most viable option given the requirements. A hot site is a fully functional backup site that can assume operations immediately should the primary location fail or go offline. 3. You're researching data replication options for your SQL database. You've decided to create a backup replica in a different availability zone that could become primary should the primary zone go offline. The replica is updated in near real time after the initial write operation on the primary database. What type of solution is this? Asynchronous. B. Asynchronous. C. Volume sync. D. Remote mirroring. E. RAID 5. Answers. B. Asynchronous replication is when data is written to the primary first, and then later a copy is written to the remote site on a scheduled arrangement or in near real time. 4. Pierre is deploying a solution that allows data for his e-commerce operations hosted in a public cloud to be reached at remote locations worldwide with local points of presence. He wants to reduce the load on his web servers and reduce the network latency of geographically distant customers. What are these facilities called? A. Regions. B. Edge locations. C. Availability zones. D. Replication. Answers. B. Edge locations are not complete cloud data centers. There are cloud connection points located in major cities and offer local caching of data for reduced response times. 5. Melinda is updating her firm's disaster recovery plans, and after receiving direction from her company's board of directors, she has been instructed to create a plan that restores operations within 48 hours of a disaster. What part of the plan should she update with the new requirements? A. RSOBRPOCRTODDBO. Answers. C. The recovery time objective is the amount of time a system can be offline during a disaster. It's the amount of time it takes to get a service online and available after a failure. 6. Jillian is a Cloud Plus consultant for an auto parts company based in central Michigan. She is putting together a disaster recovery plan that includes a remote backup site that has her SQL Server instance running at that location with a synchronously refreshed data replica. Her plan calls for activating all other services in the event of a hurricane causing an outage at her primary data center. What model is Jillian going to deploy to meet the requirements? A. Hot site. B. Warm site. C. Cold site. D. Active passive. Answers. B. A warm site approach to recovering from a primary data center outage is when the remote backup of the site is offline except for critical data storage, which is usually a database. 7. Pete has been busy updating the disaster recovery procedures for his client's business continuity plan. The DR facility will need to be ready with floor space, power, and cooling and have loading docks to unload server and equipment racks to restore service. What type of DR implementation is Pete planning on deploying? A. Hot site. B. Active active. C. Warm site. D. Active passive. E. Cold site. F. Rollover. Answers. E. A cold site is a backup data center provisioned to take over operations in the event of a primary data center failure, but the servers and infrastructure are not deployed or operational until needed. 8. Connie has been directed by her employer's finance department that they cannot afford to lose any more than 30 minutes of data in the case of a database failure or other catastrophic event. Connie has updated her corporate business continuity and disaster recovery plans. What metric did she change? A. RSOBRPOCRTODDBO. Answers. B. The restore point objective is the point in time that data can be recovered. 9. Will is testing his backup DR site and using his DNS configuration to load balance the primary and backup sites. He wants to verify that the database in the DR facility is updated in real time and remains current with the production replica in the primary data center. What type of updates should he define in his primary data center servers prior to enabling the DNS load balancing? Asynchronous replication. B. Asynchronous replication. C. Volume sync. D. Mirroring. E. RAID 5. Answers. Asynchronous replication offerings write data to both the primary storage system and the replica simultaneously to ensure that the remote data is current with local replicas. 10. Leon is creating disaster recovery documents for his company's online operations. He is documenting metrics for a measurable SLA that outlines when you can expect operations to be back online and how much data loss can be tolerated when recovering from an outage. Which metrics is he documenting? Choose all that apply. A. RSOBRTOCRPOD Dr. EVX Restore. Answers. B. C. The restore point and restore time objectives are the measurements for the amount of data lost and the time needed to get back online after an outage.
Our goal is to help you achieve your IT career goals and become a successful IT professional. We are constantly updating our content and adding new practice tests, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment below or contact us at najarstar@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you and help you in any way we can. Thank you for watching and good luck with your IT exams.